Welcome to Soprano Hotel Podcast. My name is Diana, and together with Sebastian, we will be sharing our more than 10 years of experience within hospitality sector, consulting, recruiting, and outsourcing.
Exactly. And just imagine you are traveling around the world, maybe in the private case, maybe in a business point, and you have the clearness and the safetyness that every hotel, every traveling has the same quality, gives you a good feeling, good energy. And that is why we decided to invite you in our podcast as owner of a hotel, as management, as team member from a hotel, and as a guest as well.
Over our podcast, we will go through the whole year cycle, sharing and discussing the processes of the hotel and sharing the best experiences and insights. Stay with us. Hello, dear listeners. Hello, Sebastian, and welcome to our one of the last episodes of the year cycle at Soprano Hotel. And today we are going to speak about hiring for short-term versus long-term, because we see the tendency in recruitment that, for example, hotels hiring kitchen chefs tend to offer seasonal job offers with a possibility to extend and turn it into long-term job position. Sebastian, what are your thoughts about such instances and investment, I would say so?
Different perspectives I have. At first is you started with a cycle, right? Or a circle, not a cycle, a circle about the season. So, and one thing is when we take a look on our podcast, it is the first year with the podcast, but with much experiences from the daily business, what we implement there. And the point is what we learned in the last 12 months and the last episodes, and what we can implement in the next year to have it more easier. And that is also like when you hire or fire you're a part of the team, the fully team, and so on. The point is how you or what you learned in the last season and what you can make in the next one, and how it's relevant to your team, to the core team, to the leaders team, to the management, or maybe also to some employees or helping hands in the season. So, and the thing is, I say that you have, as a management, has the task to make or to giving a vision or an idea for the next years, and also create some safe spaces for all of the teams, because you can't plan business cases in 5 years in the future. That is not so possible at the moment, I would say so, but you can create flexibility. You can create or inviting to your teams that they belong to something, to the hotel and so on, and giving them more sense for that. So it's the one hand that employees, for example, are able to giving a little bit more instead of what is the current work. And on the second thing is where we want to be with our hotel, where we want to be with our team, for our guests and for the society. I think that is the most important topic, what you have to answer, or minimum that you create something. And it is not directly connected to the daily business, but it is a kind of in scenario, and the frame is sometimes much more important than the content. And that, for example, like the social media agency said, that you're getting magnetic for the next season, that you're getting magnetic for new guests, that you're getting magnetic for people maybe who help you as an employee or as an supporter in general. And so that is, I think, what you have to do and what is also the need for the future. But most important things is how we can connect it to the daily cases. So Diana, the question is, what were the most facts, hard facts and soft facts in the last 6 months in the hospitality. Maybe you have some 1-2 stories about clients, what are their efforts for at the moment, how they plan or not, what is the market, what not, what is the competition, what's not. Some insights,
I
maybe.
fully believe, and what I have noticed besides the trend of companies, especially the smaller ones, because for bigger hotels, for hotel chains, it's much easier to invest in the long term for example, hiring chefs. And in the case of when we are speaking about small hotels, boutique hotels, they are open mostly for the season, if it is summer season or skiing season, and in between that time, they have occupation for having wedding conferences, some small groups that are visiting, but it's not their main season. So financially, in the investment is huge when you calculate how much you would pay for 3 months. However, it's the know-how, it's the understanding for the company that matters, what the chef has learned about their hotel, what are the values, what they want to communicate with their food, for example, with their level of quality to the guests. And again, we are looking in hospitality sector into different target audiences. Are we speaking about the hotels who have people who are coming just for rest, explore the nature, hiking, seeing the fjords, traveling and similar? Because again, if we speak about, for example, Norway, in Norway, the parts of the country have different type of tourists who are coming to see different things. In the north of Norway, you would be going to catch auroras. You're going for husky slate. You're going for the elk farms. You're going for the ice hotels, in winter time. And this is amazing nature activities. Other times you might be going to explore the nature, mountain hiking, fishing, and so on. So again, depends on the season. However, for me, it's very interesting that more and more smaller hotels are investing and trying to keep the staff and to have less turnover, and they are investing more in keeping the same staff, either for long term or having assurance that they are coming back next season by creating good experience for them during, for example, this summer while they are there.
Yeah. And for me, it's in every time. The thing, it's have some time spaces also in the season, in the time, in the daily business, to develop with your team the next season or the next seasons. What does it mean? For example, yesterday I get a short a voice message from my friend and business partner, Christian, and he sent me a picture from Ibiza. I was like, hey, yes, again in vacation? What happened? It's it was a spontaneous decision because I also asked also my family, for example, and they don't have any they don't want to go for 4 or 5 days to Ibiza, and he traveled now with his sister, only have a short break for mindset and so on. And that is what I also can only give this idea to typical season hotels. For example, when I don't like, I like snow, but I'm not a skiing fan. But I like this nature. And what is in for me, the best case when I have such short trip, for example, to Norway, what is in for me? My expectation is silence, some time for myself with a good framing and so on. Of course, good food. So, and it doesn't matter. Is this in the most famous mountain, or like we have this client in the near Lillehammer, for example? It doesn't matter. It's about when I hear that my expectations are to 100% done, then I have more power or more insight, wishes to book it. It doesn't matter what is directly what is the pricing. Yes, a little bit budget, take a look on it, but it isn't for me. It is about investment. So And here I would say, so maybe it is an idea, especially for little hotels, when you have, what is the next generation? We have a client, I don't know how old this senior is, right? Or he is this, I don't know, the developer, the creator, the founder of the hotel, and he has over 50 years experiences or something like that. And now the next generation, but the next generation want to have it a little bit more otherwise. I would say invite everyone from the team. And when one guy have the best thought to make some upsells or may open the hotel from a half a season or fully season to the full year, then make maybe 6 months is not the management, only the owner, maybe 6 months also a part goes to the employees. That is it, okay, when you give a good idea, we make some sales of that. From this sales, for example, you get some percent. That is participation of to something, and that could be a powerful methodic to develop the hotel, the guest levels or the numbers of guests, because you do it a little bit otherwise than the competitor. It's not about be the best, especially the little hotels. Be otherwise. For example, you have we had it in our episode, do some special weekends. Silence for stressed parents, for example. We had it today with this when the children are too loud and every day and you think, it's about in scenario. In scenario, showing it, coming into visibility, and not only say the management and the marketing said it, it's also about the concierge. It's about the waiter. Hey, I love it to be here in the winter season because we have no so much guests. So it's more individualism. I'm like a personal waiter for Diana, for example. And that is building a relationship. And the point is building a relationship from the management to the leaders, from the departments to the team and the guests as well, and building a community. And then I think when you have this, then it's also more easier. It's not easy, but more easier maybe to add a daily, a business month or 2 or 3 or half a year to the normal.
Just like when we have been speaking in one of our previous episodes and mentioned that it's about return on investment in HR. It's not only how you hire, but it's also what parts you can outsource, and also some part of investment should be about training.
Yeah.
Because, it does not take only a chef to understand this. It comes from the little steps up from the top to bottom and vice versa. Yes. And again, we have been speaking about customizing the services, adjusting the hotel, adjusting to the needs of their clients, and finding how to keep the occupation at of the hotel rooms, for example, or the space to the potential clients. Either it is a very tiny little place in the middle of the mountains, maybe there are not that many people who are coming from abroad, but locals. So why not to build, for example, some local community, local networking, business networking, even, some knitting club where people are coming and knitting, some making some art, painting. There is, for example, a wonderful painter artist in Tonsberg who is creating the events and inviting people. So there are a lot of things that people can do while it's off the season, when you're creating and offering them, and you can you can increase the occupation of the rooms by offering something really original. And again, it all starts from the staff, from the beginning, from the hiring. And I also noticed that whenever we are hiring for summer season, the requirements for short-term and long-term staff are much different. What is suitable for the company for short-term, they are having higher expectations for someone who would stay and work long-term. And on the other hand, we're coming to the topic, what is also getting popular not only in restaurants, where we see in Japan it's old news, right? So in some places in Europe, they also have robots serving the food, for example.
Yeah.
So for me, I think it is also some future, how we can automate the systems. But for me, when I think about the future of robots coming to us, like, hi, I'm your personal waiter. Imagine that.
I can imagine, and I think it is not more the future. We have since some years the first prototypes. Yes, they maybe are not the nicest one and not the full perfect design. But when you take a look on your smartphone, for example, Apple, how was the first and how is now, there is something adjusting. And only with this speed of development, only I can imagine that we have maybe in some months, or the prototyping is already done. When you take a look on the Asian market, robotic is there. But in Europe, we need sometimes, maybe we are a little bit more traditional and have maybe also some respect or fear as well from this, because we don't know it, right? And what you describe in the first is what I mean also with scenario. Insinuate something what nobody expected in a hotel, because disconnected this hospitality from this, I would say so, event, adventure, whatever does it means. So I only can share it, a short example from one of our consulting, I would say so, consulting partner. It's Katja. She has a hotel here near in my region. And it's also about they had some problems with some public buildings surrounding a big spa area. And of course, when they are closed, you lost some overnight guests. Okay, how you can handle it. And she inscenate different things, like some special days with sport experts to do some special bicycle in the mountains. Or she inscenates some special kind of barbecue with 400, 500 degrees hot stones where you can do your meat for yourself. And people come together about this event and to do this stuff and to have a good time for that. And then she said, okay, wow, no, I have drunken. I'm not able to drive, for example. And so she support in the one hand with her with a car of her hotel to drive the people, and they coming back on the next day, maybe to get a breakfast or what else. Or better, she has some open spaces, blocked rooms. They say, okay, last drink on the bar. Okay, no, I have to drive. Hey, I prepared a room for you. And she is brilliant in that. She is one of the best guest givers in the world, which I know personal. And this is what we also create. And also, at the same time, there was at the beginning the team not implemented directly, and they had some questions. And when they have some questions, it's typical human. It's like in the robotic. Then I have a fear for something new, and when I have a fear, and the first step is I'm against this. So we have to open the team. And it is more easier when somebody comes from outside and say, hey, why you do that? Or like a test guest or something else. It's better that you have the situation and you clear it out together with the team and the management and the leaders, instead of to say it as a leader directly to the team and to develop themselves. So it is in every time a co-work, and in the direction to the robotic. Just imagine the robotic are more fluently from the movement. They don't must have this completely human design, I would say so, that we have a difference between robotic and humans, nature humans, I would say so. And the thing is, when this robotic, for example, a waiter, only do the simple job, and the human waiter have the chance to build relationship with the clients, I think especially for the young generation could be a very good tool, because sometimes they're a little bit nervous, maybe they're falling some glasses and so on. And I think the robotic learn much more. They are able to have the same performance to bring the glass safe on the table. And in this time, it doesn't matter if this a young generation or also this maybe older waiter from the experiences and the ages is able to make some jokes, to make this personality. Sometimes when especially older people like my or in my
like yourself.
yeah, sometimes. Sometimes I'm also, yes. So now it's published.
It's
I'm 1
public
year
as well.
older. Yes. So and yeah, that's the point. But sometimes when you have this feeling, you have a relationship to a waiter, not to the management. It's more, you say, oh, I want to come back. It was so funny and so on and so on. They make us a good time and make some jokes and all the stuff. So it is relevant, of course, to the nature of the country and so on. But I think we have a chance to coming back more in the socials with robotic because we save time and the robotic has advantage, of course. Not getting ill, not getting pregnant, and so on and so on. It's okay. And you can have more plannable, I would say so, and have time to speak with the guest and not the next table runs, hey, where's my drink? Where's my drink? No, that works more like a rolling process and a little individualism comes with the human. That is where I see the chance with robotic, especially in the gastronomy and the hospitality. So, and last thought, I promise. When I was with my best friend Andre, we overnight 3 years ago on our clausur nearby in a hotel. It's very funny. And there was also some robotic. So, and he comes and said, okay, hey, robot, bring us a little shot before we go to bed or something else. And I said, oh, I understand. It just remind me on some advertisement. So, oh, what do you order? Bananas or apples? So, and you have also a little fun aspect there. It's like, yeah, okay, so, and then selfie and blah, blah, blah. Use it also as an advantage for your hotel. And especially when you have little children with you. Hey, put them next by the robot and as parents or maybe also as business partner or whatever, you have more silence for yourself. You don't have to play with the children, maybe, or a little bit lower. That is also a chance, what I say so.
I believe that, yes, there is some gamification and some playfulness in having a robot working instead of someone. On the other hand, yes, the investment that you put into robot, unless it needs some updates, upgrades, and it gets broken where you need to maintain or fix it, Otherwise, yes, it's stable. There is no more likely no issues like humans make sometimes, right? About having mood, no mood, appearing at work, not appearing. Like some companies are also saying that it's sometimes an issue because they have enough team for the season, but some people are taking some sick leaves and so on and so on. So it happens. However, know that it's only 15% of professionality that consists or takes up the skills part. All the rest is our manners. It's about the mindset. It's about the way we are communicating. So the question is how well we will be able to pass on the knowledge and training of the robot about these human skills, the empathy. I think it is going there because, again, the robots already are in some cases really very spooky. What we see that they are looking like humanoids, they are looking like really real person. And if you would not even know, sometimes maybe you would not that easily recognize, which is making a little bit of this uncertainty about, the future. How smart they can be and so on and so on. We also see some movies about that. However, I think it will still be quite depending on us humans if we will be willing to replace each other with robots. Of course, for the hotels who want to invest and have constant lack of team members. They have a lot of investment in recruitment costs, building employer brand. If they don't have long-term strategy, that can be also some kind of a solution. It would be really interesting to develop this topic furthermore, and I think we will make it in nearest future.
Not in the nearest future. I would say so that will be the 13th episode of the calendar with 12 months, right? So let us switch in, because there we can also share maybe some thoughts about some hearing from scientists for the future and so on, how the customer journey going on, what is... I think robotic is not robotic, it's a part of automation. It's a part of process. It's a part of digitalization. So, and when we take a look on from that view, maybe it's more easier that we have a level of humans, the team of humans, the team of digitalization where robotic is included, and at first we take a look separately and what we can connect then. So that is a future part of your company. And it doesn't matter which industry, especially for the hospitality, we are here, but also when I see it, for example, by handcrafts like bakermans and so on and so on. Nobody want to stand up in the early morning to prepare everything. Here you can use robots. And when you see, okay, you have a programmed, back to the hospitality, a programmed space for the buffet, for example. Here's the butter, here's the bread, and so on. You can program the robotic, and you can program maybe for the week 1, you have this kind of buffet. For the week 2, you have this. We spoke about one of our clients, and they had some gap with the breakfast. Never ever it happened. The customer, the client, the guest has the same experience. Wow, today, oh, I like this butter. Here's this on the same place, and so on and so on. There we can use robotic and automation. So, and our waiters and our employees can sleep a little bit longer, maybe. And the first is not to prepare the buffet. The first is, hey, good morning. How are you? How was your night? And so on, getting some feedback and going. That is what I meant in the social component. And then it's, I think but it is a journey, right? So let us agree we take a next episode to that.
And with this, we want to announce that we will be jumping into new year cycle for Soprano Hotel. And every year the processes are the same, but we have technologies, we have economics, we have people who are regularly changing in tendencies that we will continue sharing with you. So thank you for staying with us today, and we will meet next month. Thank you for visiting us at Hotel Soprano podcast about hospitality. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and see you in 2 weeks.